Guys, welcome to my first real video here on Johnny Reads. My intro video was pretty much just telling you what to expect from me and what you can expect from the channel. And last time I told you that I would be reading and talking about the books from Amazon's 100 books to read in a lifetime list. And today we're going to talk about our first book. It is, drumroll, George Orwell's 1984, which I told you last time. And before I get to the book, I just want to tell you about what the format of these videos is going to be. I'm not gonna focus so much on the book as like the plot. I mean, I've seen videos where they go into minute detail about the actual book, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you a minimal amount because my guess is you've either read the book already and you have your own thoughts, or you haven't read it and I don't want to give anything away. So I'll tell you a little bit about the book, and then I'm going to focus more on what I have to say, what I thought about it, without giving, too many spoilers. Actually, zero spoilers. So now let's go to 1984. I finished it last night, or this morning, around 3 o'clock. So that would probably lead you to believe that, hey, it's the greatest book ever and he enjoyed it and all of these things, but it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest thing ever. I didn't love it. I didn't love anything about it. But before I get to that stuff, let me just tell you a little bit about it. The main character is Winston Smith, and the second main character her name is Julia. And basically they live in a society with three levels of, like three classes, I guess. You have the inner party, who is basically those in power, and they run everything. You have the outer party, who they're part of the party, like that's like think of the Hunger Games, the Capitol. I don't know if that's even a good comparison, but the outer party members, they're basically just functioning members of society. They do what they're told. They don't really have any power though. And then you have the proletariat, and they're basically the rejects, and they basically do whatever they want because the party doesn't. They literally don't care what they're doing. Like, they're irrelevant to them. They're not even subject to the party's philosophy and thinking. They do whatever they want to do. Okay, so that's it. That's all I'm going to tell you about the book. You want more, then you can go on Amazon or something. I'll link in the description, and you can go read about it on there and see what you want to see. But first thing that I absolutely did not like was it was so slow. I've read many books, and I don't think I've ever read one as slow as this one. The only other one that I think would be one that I didn't finish. But I couldn't do it this time because then I wouldn't have a video. Basically, the first 100 pages, nothing happened. Nothing. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating and there's some little bits of info that are important, but to my memory or recollection, nothing happened in the first 100 pages. This book's only 300 pages long, so that's moving pretty slow. And then the thing about it was that the next 100 pages after that, it was basically the same thing, but it was nothing happening with Julia, who's this affair was going on with. And then the last 100, they're pretty good. They're okay. But like I said, there's nothing about the book that I loved. I didn't love the characters. I didn't love the writing style. I mean, it was okay. I have no complaints about the writing style. I didn't love. I don't know. I just didn't love the book. I mean, that's really what that comes down to. This book had this weird thing of, I mean, this is just me being picky, and maybe it's just a preference of mine, but it's the chapters would start in the middle of the page. So let's say you finish reading, then bam, the next chapter. Finish reading, then bam, the next chapter. And I don't know. I don't like reading like that for some reason. That really has nothing to do with the actual book. But I just didn't like it. I don't know. It seemed just off. All there is to say, because I mean, if I loved it, then I would be able to go on and on. But like I said, I really didn't. So what I'm telling you now is, whenever I read a book, any book, this is even if it's not on the Amazon list, I have a list of all the books that I've read in like the last probably 5 years, I guess. And I call it the best books that I've read list. I mean, I guess there might be some that aren't on there because I read them before, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate. And this book, I put at number 6. There are over 100 books on the list, so it was just a good book, not a great book. And that's about it. That's all I have to say about it. So, the next book on the list is, drumroll, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. I know. You probably read this in high school or something. But I haven't read it. And I wasn't forced to read it at any point. So, I'm going to go ahead and read it. And you have the sequel, prequel thing coming out next month. So maybe I'll read that too at some point. And as always, I will link my social media stuff in the description. Twitter will be there, my blog will be there. And then I'll even link you to the post where I talk about 1984. It won't be anything. I'll just introduce the video, really. I think that is it. So I will see you next time.